Hello team, I'm John, the Security Operations Supervisor. Good morning team. Today we will be reviewing the comprehensive steps we have taken to harden and secure our corporate systems against cyber threats. I've asked 3 of our top engineers to provide detailed updates on their efforts to lock down our desktops, network, and servers. Let's start with Clara, our desktop security specialist. Clara, can you brief us on your hardening efforts?
Hello John, absolutely, our desktop support team has worked hard to secure our desktop fleet of over 5,000 endpoints. I've prioritized patching and updating to address vulnerabilities. By regularly applying the latest patches, we mitigate risks associated with out-of-date software. I use frameworks like the NIST cybersecurity framework to guide patching prioritization. For example, when the Log4j vulnerability emerged, we saw attempts to exploit it across our environment. By quickly patching all systems and implementing compensating controls, we avoided a major breach. We also suffered a phishing incident that deployed Emotet malware on 150 desktops. To prevent this in the future, we've implemented stronger email security controls. Now I'll define some of the key terms in my update. A common vulnerability and exposure, CVE, is a publicly known security flaw that attackers can exploit. Emotet is a dangerous Trojan malware often spread through phishing that can steal data and deploy ransomware. Patching refers to fixing vulnerabilities by installing software updates from vendors. The next key concern I will talk about is email and insider threats. Email is one of the top threat vectors, so we've implemented DMARC email authentication to prevent spoofing and scan all attachments and links. We train employees to identify phishing attempts. To limit insider threats from compromised credentials, we require multi-factor authentication.
Excellent. Let's move on to networking. Sanjay, can you discuss what you've done to secure our network?
Sure. So, you know how it's super important to keep our IT systems safe from cyber threats? Well, we've got our firewalls and security devices set up based on these cool guidelines called CIS benchmarks. They're like the gold standard in the industry and offer secure setup tips. In fact, they give us over 100 configuration suggestions that work with more than 25 different product brands. Pretty neat, right? We limit traffic to only essential ports and protocols. We sandbox and inspect internet traffic in an isolated environment to detect malware. And just to clarify, the Center for Internet Security, CIS, benchmarks are a set of best practices for securely configuring a system. They're widely recognized in the industry and help organizations protect their systems from cyber threats. Internally, we divide the network into VLANs and ACLs to restrict access between departments, limiting lateral movement. We had an attack spread through our payment system's VLAN, so we've implemented microsegmentation to isolate critical systems. We're also monitoring network flows and traffic patterns using our SIEM to quickly identify anomalies. Next, I'll define and explain some key terms I used in my briefing. We know that a VLAN stands for Virtual Local Area Network, which logically segments our network. This was created within our larger physical network. Our VLANs allow us to segment the network into smaller, virtual subnetworks. This can be used to isolate traffic and improve network performance. There are 5 main types of VLANs based on their purpose: Management VLAN, Data VLAN, Voice VLAN, Default VLAN, and the Native VLAN. An ACL or Access Control List filters traffic based on rules, while segmentation helps contain threats. A SIEM or Security Information and Event Management tool aggregates and analyzes log data to detect threats. Security Event and Incident Management, SEIM, refers to cybersecurity products and services that provide real-time analysis, monitoring, and alerting on security logs and generated by applications, hosts, and network devices. SIEM solutions do this by collecting these disparate logs, normalizing the data, and running the logs entries through complicated algorithms that tease out interesting patterns of behaviors that require human research and confirmation. SEIM solutions are purchased as software, appliance, or managed services solutions.
Excellent. Hardening the network is critical. Let's hear from Dana on server security.
On the server side, we adhere to standards like the DoD STIGs, which provide guidelines for secure configuration settings. We disable unneeded services to reduce the attack surface. Server hardening best practices also include least privilege access, patching, host firewalls, and centralized logging. We suffered a vulnerability on a customer database server that allowed remote code execution. By detecting it through scanning and immediately patching, we avoided data exposure. We also conduct regular penetration testing to find weaknesses. Ongoing vigilance is key, as the threat landscape evolves rapidly. Next, I'll define some key terms I used in my briefing. Hardening refers to securing a system by reducing vulnerabilities, while penetration testing simulates attacks to find weaknesses. Penetration testing, also known as pen testing, is a simulated cyber attack against a system or network to evaluate security vulnerabilities. It involves using the same tools and techniques that real attackers employ, such as scanning, exploitation of known vulnerabilities, password cracking, social engineering, and more. Pen testing provides several key benefits. Identifies weaknesses and vulnerabilities that exist, even after implementing security controls. No defense is perfect, so pen testing finds the gaps. Demonstrates real risks by exploiting vulnerabilities to show the business impact if compromised. Seeing sensitive data stolen makes impacts more real. Tests effectiveness of detection and response capabilities by evaluating if/how quickly anomalous activity is noticed. Validates compliance with regulations or standards that require periodic pen testing. There are different types of pen tests. Black box, tester has no inside knowledge, simulating an outside attacker. White box, tester has internal details like network diagrams to more thoroughly test insider risks. We also utilize social engineering, which targets employees to test susceptibility to phishing, pretexting, etc. Effective testing requires scoping, careful planning, and execution by experienced professionals. Results are documented in a report with remediation advice. We integrate pen test findings into our vulnerability management and security operations processes. Ongoing testing helps train our IT team and harden defenses. Patching closes known vulnerabilities by updating software. Using automated audits and scanning, we detect vulnerabilities. With our defense in-depth approach, we provide layered security so if one control fails, others still protect the servers.
Outstanding overviews today. Our experts have clearly taken proactive, standards-based steps to harden security across our environment. Your insights on recent incidents and definitions of key terms are helpful for everyone's understanding. Thank you all for your thorough updates on strengthening our cybersecurity posture. The key to cybersecurity is timely identification and remediation. With platforms like IT Study Academy, you can equip yourself with the knowledge and tools to combat these threats. IT Study Academy offers courses, tutorials, and hands-on labs to help you understand and mitigate these vulnerabilities. For those aiming to master this domain, the CompTIA Security Plus certification is an outstanding starting point. It covers threat analysis, risk mitigation, incident response, and more. And remember, IT Study Academy is here to support your learning journey with online courses, practice exams, and more. In conclusion, in the vast world of cybersecurity, knowledge is power. Scientia potestas est. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep learning. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe. For more in-depth courses and tutorials, head over to IT Study Academy. Together, we can fortify our digital defenses and safeguard our digital realms. Visit us at itstudyacademy.com for more resources. Stay safe and secure out there.